In start of the movie we see that there's a mystical tower in the middle of the desert that is always surrounded by black clouds and lightning, and that's where a sandship led by the admiral is currently sailing to. Their trip is suddenly interrupted, however, when they're attacked by a monster that lives in the dunes called Diablos. It tries to knock over the ship by pushing it with its giant body, so the admiral rushes to the wheel and tries to steer the vessel out of the monster's way. The escape is successful, but sadly, when trying to rescue Handler from falling off the ship, the hunter falls instead and is left behind in the desert. Captain Natalie Artemis and her security team are searching for a missing team of soldiers in the desert. The only clues they have are a recording of their SOS message and the wheel tracks on the road that suddenly come to a stop, as if the vehicle that left them had disappeared in thin air. Suddenly, a dark storm appears in front of them. The team gets on their vehicles in order to escape. No matter how fast the team drives, though, the storm is faster and soon reaches their cars, pushing them inside a portal. As the vehicles fall off the edge of a cannon, the cars are pushed by the wind. They roll and turn over and over, throwing the people inside off their seats. When they finally land and the soldiers come out, they notice the storm has backed off and is floating above a mountain area with various structures that aren't on their maps. All their electronics are fried, and not even their compass is working, so they decide to try to return back to base by navigating using the sun. Axe tells them to wait, because he finds the cars used by the lost team. There are bodies next to them, burned to such an extreme that couldn't be accomplished by a flamethrower. There are glass shards around, which indicate something exceedingly hot having melted the sand, and empty bullets, which means the dead soldier defended themselves from something. Getting worried about whatever it is that caused this, the team gets back on their cars and leaves the area, unaware that Hunter is watching them. But they stop again when they find one more mind-blowing thing, a giant animal skeleton, bigger even than a dinosaur. Hunter shoots an arrow at them, and the soldiers respond by opening fire, until Artemis grabs the arrow and asks them to stop. It only has red chalk on it, a warning signal. At that moment, Diablo surges from the sand, and begins chasing the squad as they try to escape on their cars. No matter what they shoot at it, but it is impervious to all of it, and eventually it comes close enough to hit one of the cars, and knock it over a couple of times, killing Axe. Steeler manages to run away before the car gets crushed, and jumps on the jeep with the others, but they don't manage to get too far before Diablos knocks over this car as well, and impales Steeler with his tusk.